Welcome to the God Farm, your God Farm. This is Al. At the God Farm, you're going to learn the meaning of your life and your destiny with God for eternity. You're going to learn what's been stopping you from the true meaning of life and how to get past those areas onto your forever journey so you can be face to face with God. Let's talk about angels. When we, in the spiritual realm, there are angels that have been used by God for many different things, to deliver messages, to do warfare. They're beings that God created for many different purposes. When a person dies, they do not become an angel like many believe. We are created beings, and we are separate from angels. We can see angels coming, like, as far as my personal experience goes. I've seen many different kinds of angels. I've seen angels wearing robes that come with messages. I've worked with and seen lots of warrior angels that have chariots and horses, and they have swords and bows and arrows and spears and nets and these sorts of things. You'll come across all of these sorts of things as well. You want to work with angels. Some people say, "Oh, well, we can't tell angels what to do. We don't work with angels. We don't do that sort of thing." Well, that's all wrong doctrine. We are priests, royal priests. We are saints. We are lords. We are children of God. We are joint heirs with Christ. All those things angels are not. So we can. We don't snap our fingers and command angels to run around and do our bidding. They're not our slaves. But we work with angels to assist us in accomplishing Father's will that He has for our lives. Sometimes He'll have angels work with us. Sometimes He won't. I've worked with angels a lot of times in doing spiritual warfare against principalities, powers, against going into different nations and doing spiritual warfare. So look forward to dealing and working with angels. There are dark angels out there, Satan's angels. Don't be afraid of them. You'll come across them. You'll deal with them. These are usually the higher principalities that you work with, the generals, let's say, in Satan's army. Don't be put off by any dark angels, any evil entities of any kind. You're much more powerful, have more power and authority with Father, Jesus, and Holy Spirit than any of these. Working with holy angels, you can end up working with, let's say, a waster angel as an example, or a destroyer angel. And I'll give you an example of this in 2 Kings 19:35. "And it came to pass on a certain night that the angel of the Lord went out and killed in the camp of the Assyrians 185,000. And when people arose early in the morning, there were the corpses all dead." So that's 185,000 men were slain by one angel in one night. So they are very powerful. They are very effective in whatever you need to do. I've set angels in place to protect me, my home, to protect others. I've placed them in certain locations. I've had them close gates to the underworld. I've had them assist me in releasing prisoners of war. You can direct them. Usually I find they set in place on their own, and even whether you see them or not. I've seen angels. Some of them are 6 feet tall. Some are taller than a house. Some are can be a mile and more tall. You can run into various different sizes and kinds of angels out there. Usually I find them to be very silent and quiet. They don't I find them reserved. I've come across. I've seen many angels in heaven that are worshiping God, blowing trumpets, this sort of thing. Dispatching or working with angels in battle, a high-level spiritual battle, whatever you need to accomplish. They are available to every spirit-filled Christian who walks in revelation with God. Some people might say, well, why doesn't God just do all of this stuff and with angels, and why does he need me? Well, that's the way God works. You are a child of God. He wants to give you the honor and the privilege and the joy of working with him and achieving things and creating things. Yeah, sure, he could do it. He doesn't need angels. He doesn't need us at all. That's not what he's about, though. He is love, and he wants to share all these joys and share all this with us. You can you can find with angels they can develop. You might see just one at a time, like I said, like a ministering angel come with a message. Usually for me, I find that I deal with 5 that specifically more often than others. They're called the ancient ones that I deal with a lot. And you'll just find that it's very interesting to work with angels. It's if you don't see angels, or you haven't bumped into them yet and you're in the spiritual realm, well, ask Father to say, Father, I'd like to work with some angels. Do you have something for me that I can do where I'm working with some angels? Or maybe have an angel come to me with a scroll with a message that you have for me, or something that you want to, or maybe I can just watch angels praising and worshiping you, so, whatever, just to I know initially, long ago, I didn't see angels, and I wanted to see angels, and I just kept asking God and asking God. For the people that got it immediately, that's fantastic. For me, I remember it took me probably 6 months, and I asked every day, day after day, I want to see an angel. I want to see an angel. And I just kept, and it just seemed like. And you just have to. For me, I was just persistent, and I would not give up. I was like that, dog on a bone or whatever. I would just not give up. I just kept, and until finally, I see an angel, and I see angels, and I work with angels, and it just, everything opened up for me after that. Just be persistent. Same as everything else that you're doing here with the God Farm, moving in the spiritual realm, opening up your spiritual senses. Just keep asking and asking, and keep on spending time at it. Angels really, a lot of them I've come in contact with, and other people I've heard their testimony say that angels are standing around waiting for children of God to work with them, to see them, to be able to do something. A lot of them, I've heard people say that they've run into angels and said they've been bored because they're waiting for children of God to start operating in the spiritual realm and start working with them. So look at them as your helpers. Look at them as your guardians. Work with them to place them around your house, to place them around your family as protection, as like a hedge of protection, like God had with Job. He had a hedge of protection of angels around him. These angels can keep evil spirits away. They can. I've worked with angels, like I said, to once evil spirits went back down into through portals back into the pits. angels have closed off these evil portals where evil spirits were coming through to attack people. Closed off these portals. I've had usually I use angels to bind up evil spirits, take them away, and put them in spiritual prisons and guard them so that they don't get out of these spiritual prisons, so that they never come back. You never want to knock out evil spirits and just have them go somewhere else. That's like kicking criminals out of your house and back out into the street. They're not going to stop what they're doing. They're either going to come back and attack you again, or they're going to go to other people and attack those people. You don't want that. You want to imprison these evil spirits. This is where angels will assist you. They'll chain up, rope up, bind up evil spirits. Can be larger than evil spirits, can be even principalities. They'll assist you against these principalities and take them away, and they'll imprison them and keep guard over these things so that they won't afflict anybody anymore. So evil spirits, very, very worthwhile looking into, working with angels with you to assist you in accomplishing spiritual warfare. Many times they also come along and assist with healing, sticking their hands in someone, pulling out cancers. There's so many different kinds of spiritual entities like seraphim and cherubim. Angels, you just working with all these different, I don't want to call them things, working with all these entities. God will direct you with all this. You'll understand when you're in the spirit. It's like you're connected with God. You'll know how to work with angels, how to what to say to them, these things will just come into your mind. You won't have to struggle with, well, what am I supposed to do with these angels that are right in front of me, or something along those lines. When you're in the spirit and operating in the spirit and you're with God, you'll understand what to do, and you'll know how to operate with angels and how to have angels assist you in whatever you need to do. All right? God bless. If you'd like to learn more about these amazing teachings that will radically change your life, please go to thegodfarm.com, scroll down, and register there. See you soon.